Time for the begging to begin. Urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you not DSP. And let me ask y'all something. Do y'all remember how angry Phil was before he met Kat? Because this man just had a full-on meltdown, which is crazy because he was just on a streak, right? Then he just mentioned that they had 8 or 9 streams where they were hitting the goals, and we have one bad stream, and this is what we get. You just can't make this stuff up. So let's get into it.
Play a clip. You know what? I'm just going to go use the bathroom quickly. I'm going to come back, turn off the lighting, and we're going to start with Suikoden 2. So now, just like I said, attendance will now dwindle. We're going to go down to like 150 or less on YouTube. I bet we'll go down to like 50 on Kick, even though we had 120. Watch. But guys, I mean it now. Support this goddamn stream right now.
Now, guys, he means it now. Support this goddamn stream right now. Now, we know this is Phil's best rendition of PPP, but as always, he lacks the charisma that PPP has, so he can't get away with it. But this is also Phil trying to act as if he's playing a character so he can portray his innermost thoughts while maintaining deniability. He thinks he's slick, but he's not. But I'm going to let him continue.
I mean it. I don't want this game, which I love, and I want to share with you. I want to share my passion for gaming with you. I want you to support this stream to show that every one of you that says, just play what you love, you should be here right now supporting Suikoden 2. Because if you say that's the best course of action, then you should support what you think is the best course of action.
Nobody is saying that's the best course of action. What they're saying is that you should interweave the games that you want to play in with the games that you must play, because according to you, it's a business as well as your passion. So naturally, you're going to play games that maybe you don't want to play, but they'll make you a lot of money. So it shouldn't be an issue with you playing a game that you do want to play and then not making a whole lot of money, because in business, we know that gains here can cover losses there. So what's the issue?
And that's the problem. People talk, but they don't act. So they say, just play whatever you want, you'll be successful. Well, I'm doing that literally right now. I'm about to play Suikoden 2, which I want to play. Now support Suikoden 2.
No business works like that, though, Phil. That is a very inordinate thought process that just do whatever you want. It doesn't work like that. Every business who's trying to appeal to an audience to a certain degree is going to conform or formulate a product that is appealing to the audience primarily. But this guy is only concerned with what he likes, because his whole premise is, I like the game, so why don't you like it? Phil, this is cultivating these parasocial relationships that you claim you want no part of, because you are attaching your emotions to theirs. You're telling them that they should tether how they feel to how you feel.
Get it? You need to put your money where your mouth is. You need to support these things, or else I can't do that. I want to play more games that I like, but I need people to actually show up for them so that I can play them. So do it right now. Let's go. Let's get a super chat. Let's get a sub. Let's get a membership. Let's get a tip. Let's get some kicks.
It's so great when he goes into infomercial, Phil, and nobody budges. He gives his best rendition of a car salesman, and people just tell him, I might call you, I'll come back, and nothing ever happens. And this is why I say desperate Phil is the best Phil, because when he's desperate, you're going to get nuggets of truth that you're going to find and hear later on in this video. And this often happens with people who are confused, right? The truth comes out on the extreme ends of the spectrum, either when he's doing really well and he's pounding his chest, or when he feels like he's about to be destitute. That's why when he has these crash outs, it's very important that you calibrate your ears and pay attention, because he does tell the truth sometimes.
Corpse Fire says the game's very boring, though. Well, then shut the fuck up. I don't care. You say I should play what I like. I like this game. I don't find it boring, so I'm going to play it, and you're going to support it. Or else shut up about playing what I like. I'm tired of hearing the bullshit. See, you don't like it when I speak facts. When I speak rational fact, you don't like that. Well, everyone says just play what you want and you'll be successful. Okay, I'm about to. Run for the hills, everyone. He's playing Suikoden. Oh! Then shut up. Then don't say that. But people.
No, if I'm not mistaken, he made like $80 or something like that during this stream. He's acting as if he made $5. And this is shortly after he made tons of money because some final wish whale showed up, which we know is probably OIC. Let's be real about it, right? But this shows you how much his money is already allocated for before he even touches it. Phil is doing math in his head about what pull he's going to do and what event that game is having. And I would not be surprised at all if his parents, to a certain degree, have told him, look, we're no longer going to support this lifestyle because you've chosen not to hold up your end of the deal.
People keep saying it. And I keep saying that's not reality. That if I just played what I wanted all the time, I wouldn't be successful. And it'd be, oh, no, that's just because it's your attitude. It's this, that. No. You want to know what it is? It's the fucking troll pieces of shit.
No, I want y'all to pay attention to what he said. He told the truth there. He said people are saying because it's your attitude, and he immediately defected to the trolls because the second the truth comes, he has to bring out and point to the boogeyman. It's not me, it's them, to try to create an enemy for himself so he can look like the victim like he always does. And all this, again, over a handful of 20s because like I said, he had made $80-something off of this, and prior to this, he had made a couple $1,000s. But here he is having a whole crash out because nobody wants to watch him play this boring ass game.
Who scare people away who like this content. Because there's a ton of people who like this, but they won't show up to my streams because they're of the impression if they show up, they're going to be harassed. Which probably isn't far from the truth.
Now, once again, pay attention to what he says. He says, there's a ton of people who like this who would probably show up if they were not getting harassed. So people are showing up for other streams. In fact, streams yesterday where you made money and you hit your goals. But for some reason, they're not showing up for this particular stream because the detractors don't like them. Phil, this makes no sense even for you. And this is some of the biggest cope I didn't see from this guy in a long time. And I'm starting to believe that maybe one of his whales, maybe one or two of them, may have made some verbal agreement with him in some Discord somewhere, and they just decided not to show up that day. And this is his entitlement kicking in.
Let's say someone really likes this game and just happens upon my stream. Oh, I want to send Phil $10. Now they get harassed for it. So why would they want to come support my stream? I've never experienced that before on anyone else's stream. You're right. I'm the lucky one, right? Who gets this vortex of mentally deficient fucking weirdos who won't leave my viewers alone. It's ass. It's not fair. I should be able to play what I like and have a positive audience. I'm not allowed to because of these shitbags.
You're not allowed to because your streams often deteriorate into this almost every single day. Even when you're making money, you're still complaining about money or talking about money or how you would like to obtain more money. Everybody knew when this whole kicks system came out that this was going to be the bulk of your content on a loop because you are so predictable, because the only thing that really galvanizes you is money. So we know that as long as there is a carrot out there for you to do something, you're more than likely going to do it. And it's just crazy because think about if you are a legit DSP viewer and he's been getting good support the last 8 or 9 streams. He even mentioned the word streak, right? In this one stream, he freaks out like this. So how are you supposed to compute and reconcile this? Like, damn, he just made all this money. He has one bad stream and this is how he acts. Normal people are going to be out of there immediately.
Okay? You want me to speak matter-of-factly? That's the truth. It's these shitbags who fucking ruin everything. I can't have a positive audience. How could I? In fact, think of it this way. When you come to my stream and you make fun of me, well, now you're protected. Now you know that the shitbags won't come after you. So I want you to think about that, how fucked up that is. And when people come and say, cultivate an audience, I can't. You can't cultivate an audience when you have toxic shit. That's like saying, just make a nice greenhouse, cultivate the plants.
Phil, you could cultivate the audience, but you are haunted by your accomplishment from the past and you don't want to step out the shadow of your past. Because what you could do is start a brand new YouTube channel and do what you're doing now without the begging, without the crying, without the whining, without the complaining, and see how you do. But we know your ego will not allow you to step out of the imprint that you already created because you fear that the new imprint that you will make will be far smaller. So let's be real about it. It's not about detractors. It's about you being your own worst detractor. And it's always been like that. The only thing that detractors are doing is highlighting the things that you are doing. We don't have to create a narrative or spin it in any type of way. We just let the tape play.
So you start growing plants, but someone is putting poison gas into your greenhouse and you have no ability to stop it. There's no way to ventilate the greenhouse. So everything you're growing, you're doing right, and it dies anyway.
No, it's more akin to somebody buying a car or a vehicle in general that they don't fully understand. And they go to a gas station for a car that's gas powered and they put diesel in it instead. And then they wonder why the car is not functioning correctly, when what they should have done was their due diligence to figure out how things actually work. Because as much as you would like to blame how things are going on other people, all of this is on you. Just like the example I gave with the car. If the car owner did their due diligence and figure out how things actually work, they never would have put the diesel in a gas powered engine. Thus, they would not be having those problems. See, Phil, I just used one of your words, but I used it correctly.
So instead of yelling at me and saying I'm doing everything wrong, how about this? How about you stop being part of the poison and you start being part of the positivity? How about you stop watching the fucking restreamer, the piece of shit who steals the content, to try to be like I'm the devil when you know I'm not. You know I'm not the worst person on the fucking planet.
So that's the measuring stick to determine if somebody's a bad person or not, is if they're not the worst person on the planet. That makes no sense. So if somebody steals a car, the guy who stole the lawnmower shouldn't get in trouble because somebody else stole something that's far more valuable. That doesn't make sense. That's why the law has things in place called degrees that speak to how bad something is. We know you did something, but to what extent? This dude is out of his mind.
With all the shit that's happened in the last several years of content creation, you know I'm far from it. I may be your favorite guy to make fun of, but I'm certainly not the worst content creator. You know that.
So if you pay close attention to Phil, he's actually addressing detractors here. If you really think about it, because he's saying, I'm not the worst guy on the planet. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, there's far worse people out there than me. Why don't you just like me, Phil? Nobody's ever really going to like you because you don't have any real redeemable qualities. People generally are drawn to things that remind them of something else that they're fond of. And all you can do is remind people of things that they do not like.
So instead of that, instead of saying the awful thing like, it's your fault because you're not cultivating the audience. It's your fault because you're not playing what you love. So then I play what I love and I try to cultivate an audience and it doesn't work because of the trolls. So why don't you stop the bullshit?
It's not what you're saying it is, because you don't even give things a chance to have a maturation period. You have so much entitlement that you want instant gratification. You think, okay, I'm going to finally relent 4 or 5 years later to something somebody told me half a decade ago. And if I don't get an overwhelming support on the first stream, then it's an abject failure and I told you so. That's your thought process. And that's why things don't work. You don't understand that sometimes it takes time to build things, especially anything that's worth talking about. I mean, let's be real about it. How long does it take to make a paper plane? Okay, and conversely, how long does it take to construct a building or a subdivision? I mean, come on, man. This is simple.
Why don't we live in reality for once instead of this fucking fantasy world of rainbows and unicorns and leprechauns dancing on pots of gold that doesn't exist? What exists is reality here where I'm doing the best with what I've got and I try to do things that I like and they don't work. There's nothing I can do about that.
And that's your problem, your thought process. There's nothing I can do about that. So you put what you should be looking at first as something that you should not look at all, which is yourself, which is why this situation hasn't gotten better. And your career has slowly circled the drain, and it will continue to, because you refuse to be introspective. You refuse to look at the person that you should be looking at, which is you. And it's always been you, Phil. That's your main problem. You are entirely too entitled. You beg too much. There's too much of you. You are here too much. You are not special. And that's another part of your problem. But we know you need to create this environment where you're here constantly to keep people under hypnosis. And this is why I say, when you look at Phil's life, Phil is essentially on house arrest. He can't go anywhere. He can't do anything. He is relegated to that house. That is not a life that anybody would want to live, knowing the next day you have to come on camera and do this at almost 50 years old, with the backdrop being a 30-year-old video game, dude. This is beyond pathetic.
Because I'm not the one in control, you know? It sucks. I wish that these businesses would clamp down on this garbage, because if people wouldn't basically steal my shit and harass the viewers, then I'd be fine. I'd be able to play games like Suikoden, right? But I can't, because then it doesn't work, right? And it's hilarious because every time that I talk fact, the actual freaking out and spurging of the detractors begins. Because it's kind of like you don't want to ever look at your own reflection. So then when you get talked to with facts, you can't handle it. So your head fucking fries because they're spurging out right now in the kick chat. They can't.
This is Phil projecting, as he always does. He actually thinks that he just laid down the law there, and detractors are with clenched fists and gnashing teeth swinging at the air. They're so upset that Phil went off on them. Phil, the only person that is upset right now is you. Everybody else is laughing like we usually are. So I'm not sure who you think you are addressing here, because the fact that you don't understand what detractors are actually doing in this moment makes it even funnier, Phil. Like, damn, bro, 2 decades and you still ain't figured this out?
Can't take the facts that I'm spewing. Instead they're like, oh no, it's this. No. You just can't handle facts. You don't like facts. You like your narrative, this cozy narrative that you've created around yourself, this blanket of weirdos and really mentally deficient people that you wrap yourself in every day to make you feel like you're normal. You're not. You're not normal. You come and you harass my viewers. You try to harass me and my family. You're not normal. You're the fucking problem with human existence, actually.
Phil loves to talk about what normal is and what the parameters are for normal. But let's give Phil a quick wake-up call. Phil, the very fact that you're creating content on the internet makes you not normal, because most people are not doing that. You get even smaller. You're a streamer. So that's even another subcategory. So even within the realm of content creation, you're doing something that's even smaller within the realm of content creation, which is actual streaming. And then you go into the realm of streaming, you're still unlike any other streamer, because no other streaming is acting like this. So when you talk about what normal is, you are the farthest thing from it. Therefore, you will be the least likely to be able to define it. Stop doing this, man. All this does is make you look ridiculous, man. You are having a meltdown because people don't care about your hobby. They don't care about something that you care about. But as the viewer, that's not their job. They're there to care about what they care about. And conversely, it's your job to care about what they care about, especially as it pertains to your channel, which is supposed to be cultivated for their entertainment.
Right? You are. These people are so fucking weird. The way that they behave, they're not normal humans. You're not. If you're part of these hate groups, the restreamer watchers and all this, you're not normal. You're fucking mentally deficient, and you really should seek help, because you're not having a normal human existence. You're fucked.
This man said a hate group, like we in the KKK or something. What is he talking about? Phil, you really like to assign a mass amount of importance to you that has not been earned. Okay, this is not a hate group, and I'm not going to sit here and say that there are not people who don't that actually hate you. I see it in my comments. There are people out there who actually hate you, but that's par for the course, Phil. You are a public figure to a certain degree, so naturally people are going to like you, and other people are not going to like you. Everybody has trolls. The problem is, like, think about somebody like a Maximilian Dude or even a Justin Wong. You don't think it's people in their comments telling them that they're trash or their content sucks and this and that or whatever? Of course they are, but they're so confident about what they're doing. They know that those things that the people are saying is not true, so it doesn't bother them. They're secure in what they are doing. The problem with you is you're insecure. So when you see people telling you the truth about your trash content, it hits a nerve and you have to respond. That's the difference. Everybody on the internet that has a platform that's worth talking about has trolls. You are not special.
I'm the one having a normal human existence. I got a happy home life. I get to stream games all day. What are you doing? You're sitting there harassing my positive viewers who want to be here for Suikoden. Bookwell, thanks for 500 kicks. I actually just saw it. I saw that one in the chat, so I actually get to shout it out. Thank you, Bookwell. Now, that is not the first 500 kicks, so I can't get you on the leaderboard, but we will count it. Thank you so much. Okay. Really quick, I'm going to use the bathroom, and then we're going to begin. All right? I'll be right back. Now, guys, again, you want to say positive things. Just play what you like. Cultivate a positive audience. Then let's do that today with Suikoden, but please support the stream. It's the point. I need people to actually support the positive stuff. So please do. We've already gotten about a third to the goal. Let's hit the goal for Suikoden today.
Now, did y'all pick up on that? The room temperature changed a little bit, and he changed who his message was to. It shifted from him talking to the detractors to him talking to his actual audience, but the premise was the same. This is why I said this man is confused. He has no idea outside of his few wells how to tell friend from foe. And this is what happens when you put so much bad karma into the universe. You don't know when or where yours is going to come from. This is why Phil basically sleeps, like they say, with one eye open. He doesn't know who to trust. That's why you have to have such a huge financial investment in him for him to even begin to trust you, because money is the only thing that he actually respects or reveres. And it's just sad, because this is a telltale sign that money is not everything. And money oftentimes can lead to your own destruction, because look how loose he is with it. And because he's been so loose with it and been so loose with it for so long, he expects it to come. He expects it to come like air filling your lungs when you breathe. It's just passive to him. He doesn't fully understand the concept of having to go out there and actually hunt your food, actually do something and sweat for reasons that you do not want to get things like resources, because you have people depending on you. This dude's a certified bum. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.